Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tommy with yet my first replay cast here from 2025 after a long break due to some health issues with my neck, with my voice. I'm now finally back after casting many ASMR videos which are very popular in South Korea actually. So I would like to thank all of the South Korean people watching the videos with a gamsamida to all the people from South Korea. We have now here a very interesting game in between Flash and his opponent, a Zerg barcode, I believe, almost close to a barcode. So also a South Korean pro here versus Flash. And as you can see from the thumbnail, it is going to be a infested Terran strategy here versus Flash. So let's just see how things will unfold here, as we have Flash spawning here in the upper right in the red as the Terran, and his opponent here in the upper left in the orange. It is ZXC, but I don't know who this could be. Perhaps Soma, Jaedong. I don't think it's Jaedong. Maybe Hero, who knows. But a very high APM here for him. Perhaps you guys know who this is. Yeah, very interesting game we're about to find out here. Onto a 4 spawning location map. We see pretty standard open up here for Flash with a supply depot into barracks, and already scouting here the map at around 1 minute and 50 second mark here for him. Same can be said here for the Zerg as they meet now into the middle of the map, and a very smart move here by the Zerg, already inflicting good damage towards the SCV from Flash right here. So yeah, Flash with a good scouting, but already at half HP he will find out what exactly the Zerg is up to, and actually already some very early Zerglings here for the Zerg player. He sees the hatchery, sees the Zerglings, so he knows that it could be a timing with a tier 2 upgrade. Interesting enough, actually the Zerg allows the scouting SCV to move here forward towards the main as more Zerglings are getting produced, and Flash, interesting enough, deciding not to move here forward as the Zerglings are now closing more and more forward towards the ramp from Flash. There is one Marine here, second Marine is out, so I believe Flash should be able to hold this as in comes the Zerglings, and one SCV has already been taken out. The doors are pretty much shut here by Flash, so a good hold by him. Zerglings are pretty much hurt, and with that he should be able to secure the ramp. However, on the same side, a very aggressive movement here by the Zerg. So could this be Zealot actually, who is known for his aggressive gameplay, as he also should be able to cancel the expansion here from Flash. Now finally getting some good surrounds against the Marines. A good micro here by Flash. In the end, only 4 Zerglings have been left here, as some SCVs have to be actually pulled here forward by Flash to stop this harassment by the opponents. Very good early start here for the Zerg, causing lots and lots of chaos. And yeah, more and more SCVs and Zerglings are falling here left and right, and two Zerglings are still being left here alive, as Flash now finally should be able to take out the last Zergling. Still, however, more waves and waves of Zerglings are moving forward. Flash did scout the main. There was no tier 2 upgrade yet for him, as with this bunker right here, I believe he should be able, he could even uplift the barracks and leave it here for more protection. And actually one Zergling is still being left here alive. Finally the bunker is finished, and I believe with that Flash should be able to hold against the harassment. There's another scouting SCV is being sent forward, and this is interesting enough, the Zerg actually producing more and more Zerglings. Once again, a very high amount of Zerglings here for him. He might get a good surround against the bunker. 4 Marines are here, SCVs once again are being pulled. So truly a very aggressive style here by the Zerg. Perhaps you guys know who this could be, as he's actually making it very, very hard here for Flash. But at the same time, there's only 13 drones here for the Zerg into the main and into the expansion. So when exactly or if are we going to be seeing a tier 2 upgrade here by him, and perhaps a transition into Mutalisk or maybe Lurkers? Perhaps some Ultra-Risk would also be interesting here for the Zerg. So let's just see what the next moves are going to be. We see another barracks here in the front, a very good position here for Flash, with the barracks in the front giving more protection towards the bunker, making it of course very, very hard for the Zerglings to move here forward, as they will have to run through this corridor right here, and even the Marine gives good protection. I believe with that finally Flash should be secured here, and a very interesting expansion here by the Zerg at the lower right part of the map, and yet another hatchery for him with a tier 2 upgrade for him here as well. A very interesting build order by the Zerg. Let's just see how the game is going to continue here for both players. So yeah, Flash is being forced into a defensive gameplay. Perhaps later on he's going to be switching towards a mech strategy, or actually staying towards Marines, upgraded Marines with medics. Also very strong against the Zerg. We have an engineering bay just in case there would be some muteless gear from the opponent. No satellite com here yet for Flash, so he's pretty much blind now. He has no idea what tech switch is going to be here for the Zerg. Perhaps towards muteless, perhaps towards Zerglings, and a very nice move here by the Zerg, and actually a nice hidden Hydralisk den here for the Zerg, as Flash still has no idea where exactly the expansion is being located. So we might see a switch into lurkers here for the Zerg player, so quite interesting and very smart gameplay here by him, as very soon we should be seeing Hydralisk with lurker switch. So of course there are no science vessel yet here for Flash, so he has no detection. The only detection he has are those turrets out, so he's expecting of course a muteless harassment by the Zerg, but no such thing yet here for him, as we see some creep colony, interesting enough. So the Zerg actually expecting Flash to move out and to attack him very soon. Yeah, Flash also playing very defensively, as Steam is about to get finished. Weapons 1 has started. There we have some upgrade for the carapace of the units from the Zerg, and the first Hydralisk also moving out here for him. Speed should also be finished very soon here, and actually many more sunken colonies are being developed here by the Zerg, so he's expecting a full-on attack by Flash. Yeah, Flash having those Marines with those medics, even fire bats are getting produced here by him, so it could be a very good timing push by him very soon. Some tanks would also be much needed now, given the fact that all of those Sunkens, of course, very strong versus the Marines, and even more Sunkens are getting produced. However, Flash, not knowing about this expansion right here, this could have been a good attack point, but in the end, a lurker into this spot right here, into the ramp, just simply block the ramp and not allow Flash to move here forward. Yeah, let's just see what is going to happen here. Flash is being forced still to play it very defensively, go into more barracks, so he's going to stay into barracks, perhaps some siege tanks, perhaps later on some science vessels to have detection against the Zerg. And yeah, all of a sudden both players decide to play it very defensively here with some lurkers. Of course the Zerg could upgrade the move ability by the overlords and the transport ability, and with that he would be able to inflict massive amounts of splash damage towards the SCVs right here with a good drop, given the fact that there are some turrets here, but I believe 2 overlords in the front with some in the back could of course inflict massive amounts of damage towards the economy here from Flash, as he's just going into mass barracks right here. So it's going to be mass upgraded Marines, and finally a lurker is being unveiled here, tries to lure of course the Marines forward, and yeah, with that Flash now finally knows what is up. At the same time we see a great drop here happening for the Zerg, so this is exactly what I told you, and even 2 more lurkers are here, so quite a panic move here from Flash, as he has to of course scan the area. He's attacking with the SCV, not a very good idea versus all of those lurkers with the splash damage, but of course he has to inflict as much damage as he can, and there are still some lurkers here into the main. So right now Flash in a very bad situation. 1 lurker is still being left alive. At the same time we see another move here forward with the lurkers, 2 bunkers actually being laid down by Flash, as he's now being forced to once again leave the mineral lines here, and more SCVs are actually getting taken out. Actually he decides to kill the turrets for first, a very smart move here by the Zerg, as he's taking out more of those turrets. Finally 1 tank would be able to clear this out, but yeah, the damage, the massive economic damage has already been done, and 1 lurker still being left alive here, inflicting more damage. Soon there will be once again scan available, but in the meantime more SCVs are taking damage here. So very abusive gameplay here by the Zerg with his 3 bases. Finally the lurker is being taken out, and Flash actually dropping to 31 workers versus the 41 here from the Zerg. So a very good early game here by the Zerg. As we have passed the half-minute time, we are at a 10-minute amount. Quite a defensive gameplay, and looks like the Zerg is not being done yet. He's moving forward once again with some empty overloads in the front and with some Hydralisks this time, so not that many turrets being left here alive. Lurkers once again being dropped. Hydralisk in the front, Firebats to of course react, but 2 Lurkers seem to be able to inflict so much splash damage here against Flash. So Flash in a very hard situation here as he's taking more and more damage from the units here from the Zerg, dropping to 30 workers versus the 46 here already from the Zerg, and also this one Lurker. Very important here for the Zerg as he's able to just buy so much time here for the Zerg, and of course cancel the mining abilities here from Flash. So a scan is once again being ready here for Flash as he's bringing his Marine 4, but then again another drop is happening here, so truly a very smart movement here by the Zerg. In the end Flash is able to clear it, but yeah, like I told you, lots and lots of mining time has been lost here for him as another push is moving here forward. So very nice and abusive gameplay here by the Zerg. Always keeps Flash guessing what exactly the next steps are going to be. So very hard game here for Flash versus this Zerg player right here, as a huge movement is happening here by the Zerg with Hydralisk, with Lurkers, and of course the tanks will be very important here for Flash. Finally he does have a science vessel, very important science vessel here for him to give detection against the movement here from the Zerg. This was just a fake attempt here by the Zerg to drop, but the real action is of course happening here. Tank's siege ability is about to get finished very soon, so the Zerg might try once again to do a drop now into the main. There are some Marines guarding here the entrance, and let's see if this is indeed going to be the tactic from Flash, sorry, from the Zerg here. Just checks the water to see how many Marines are into this location. Perhaps just also tries to fool Flash into a drop attempt. Now finally the science vessel is in the front, tanks are in the back, sieged up. The Lurkers really have to burrow very soon. So much action is happening here. Both players do take some damage, but in the end things have settled down a little bit as the Zerg tries to find of course a good position to surround the Marines from Flash. Yeah, Flash slowly but steadily moving here forward with his Marines, with his tanks. Let's have a look at the upgrades very quickly. I believe the Marines should have of course 1 weapons and 1 armor. No upgrades for the tanks. Let's have a look at the Zerg. 1-1 for him here as well, as they will now very likely fight here into the middle of the map. Where is the science vessel? There is a scan here going on for Flash. So sadly here for Flash, he doesn't have the science vessel ready here for him. The Lurkers will be able to take so much damage towards the Marines and towards the tanks. In the end both players do lose quite a large amount of units, but the Zerg seems to be sending out troops from all of his expansions towards the center of the map, so very soon Flash might be surrounded here, as we have some great irradiance going on here from the science vessel, and in the end some reinforcements do arrive here for the Zerg, as he should be able to surround all of those units here from Flash, even going for some Lurkers. And only a couple of Marines are being left here for Flash, but still reinforcements also pulling here forward for him. So very close game here indeed, but if you look at the economic aspect, Flash only has 32 workers versus the 48, so the Zerg should be able to replenish his forces very quickly. Quite a hard game here for him, even though Lurker eggs do buy some time here for the Zerg as he's now moving forward, sniping important tanks here from Flash. Very good job here by him, even having some Lurkers here in the back. And Flash really needs the science vessel in the front to give detection. But yeah, so much splash damage is being taken here by Flash out of the Lurkers. However, slowly but steadily Flash is pushing here forward. He really wants to end the game. The Marines with upgrades looking very strong versus all of the units here from the Zerg, as he's now finally should be able to take out those drones and the hatchery right here. So finally a good move here by him, taking out the expansion, the newly established expansion here from the Zerg, and a couple of drones here as well. Reinforcements are also nicely pulling here forward. There's a small counter here by the Zerg with some Hydralisks, but the upgraded Marines will of course be very strong. However, Flash should just be careful not to lose those science vessel here as he's now pushing forward. The science vessel in the front should of course be very nicely protected as the siege continues here for Flash. He has now two tanks, two important tanks, which will deal good damage towards the Idolisk. And hold on, at the same time we finally see yet another drop attempt with some lurkers, with some hydros, and sadly here for Flash he has nothing at home. So this will be a very critical movement here as the comset might even also be targeted here from the Zerg. At the same time, a huge wave of Terran units are moving here forward, but steadily attacking the sun guns here. So Flash in a very good position. He has a good amount of units, but at the same time his main is now pretty much under siege from the lurkers. He's trying of course his best to out-micro the lurker splash damage, but the comset will fall very soon. There is a scan, but it's only one tank here ready to attack. The real action is of course happening here. There is vision, and now finally the Zerg is moving forward with the Idolisk in the front. The lurkers in a great position here, dealing so much splash damage, so a hard position here for Flash to attack. In the meantime, there's so many expansions here from the Zerg, so much reinforcements could pull here forward. And yeah, finally now all of the sun guns have been taken out. Only one is being left alive, but Flash taking so much casualties here as we see now finally some Marines moving forward to clear this out, to clear the lurkers out. And in the same time Flash not really being able to move here forward, as so many lurkers being left behind. And there we have the Queen with the infested Terran here for Flash. So Flash now in some serious trouble. He only has one expansion being left here. We do have some infested Terrans very soon here for the Zerg. We have so many bases for the Zerg here as well. It's finally a small group of Marines should be able to take out this expansion. At the same time Flash deciding to abandon the siege right here, as there's so many units pouring here forward for the Zerg. And very soon some infested Terrans might get spawned here very soon here for me as well, as we see an engagement very soon here into the middle of the map. So let's just see what's going to happen here. Slowly but steadily we're closing towards the end game right here. So a very hard game here for Flash indeed. A double amount of drones for the Zerg. Perhaps Flash has scanned the area all around the map. He is sending out some small troops, but the Zerg is able to hold this and push this back. At the same time the main force is now moving forward, but I believe Flash, knowing of course that there's so many Zerg bases out there, and that of course the economic advantage was way too strong here from the opponent, decides to GG out here with infested Terrans also on their way and only one expansion pumping out minerals. Very good game here for the Zerg. Also very aggressive gameplay here by him, being able to secure this game. A very interesting and strong game here. At one point Flash had the initiative here with all of his units, but in the end the Zerg economy was just way too strong, and his abusive gameplay really worked out very well with 2, even 3 drops happening here towards Flash. And yeah, we had a very good game here by the Zerg, securing him the victory versus Flash. Let's just have a look at the stats very quickly. Very nice abusive gameplay here from the Zerg versus Flash. And yeah, Flash suffering quite a strong defeat, so a very one-sided game here from the Zerg. Doing a very good game. Lurkers, no Mutalisk actually here for him, just lurkers with splash damage versus the Marines. A very good counter of course. So yeah, very good game. I hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, 감사합니다 to all the South Korean viewers. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've checked the stats, and actually 70% of you are from South Korea. So of course being followed with around 25% from the United States, Vietnam and so on. So yeah, very nice to see that Starcraft Broodwar is still very popular in South Korea. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. 감사합니다 once again. This is your host Tommy, signing out.